going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a lovely morning here in Pattaya. We've got some stories to get into today. With a couple of them, actually, we're gonna go with a little bit of a change of pace. But we also have a couple of stories that I think are very important. You know, there's some lessons to be learned, I think, when people are coming into Thailand, lessons that I've learned myself the hard way, both in Thailand and at home. If there are any stories you would like to see us cover here on the channel, please feel free to drop them down there as well. Of course, I can't get to everything. I will do my best. If there's something you really want to see or hear about, please drop it down below. But let's get into our first story. Some good news, some things that I love to see, so let's hop right into it. Coming to us from the Tiger, rare big cats return to spotlight in Thai National Park. In a nod to Thailand's Biodiversity, Office of Conservation Area Management 12 has reintroduced footage of a pair of elusive wild cats, a leopard and a black panther, captured roaming together in the forested terrain of Klang Lan National Park in Kam Peng Phet. The discovery has since sparked a long-term collaboration between Klang Lan National Park and WWF Thailand to monitor and study the behavior of the animals. Both cats belong to the same species, Panthera pardus delacouri, I think I nailed that, check me out, commonly known as the Indo-Chinese leopard. The black panther is not a separate species, but rather a leopard exhibiting melanism, a genetic trait that results in an excess of dark pigmentation. Well, first of all, I guess we're learning today. I would kind of consider myself somewhat of a wildlife nerd. I grew up with Animal Planet, Crocodile Hunter, all that stuff. So I thought of all people, I probably should have known that leopards and panthers were the same animal.
He was a retard.
What?
He was a retard.
I guess I didn't. Maybe I learned that at some point and completely forgot it. But this is awesome. I love to see anywhere in the world, not just in Thailand, that species are on the rebound. And I love to see that Thailand, especially in the past 10 years or so, has been making tons of effort to protect their wildlife. It's some crazy statistic. I want to say it's like 40% of all animal species in the world can be found in Thailand.
Huh?
If you spent time in Thailand, you'll know that some places might not be quite as progressive, as compared to the West when it comes to wildlife protection, but those things are changing. And also tigers are on the rise in multiple areas across Thailand as well. So I think that is absolutely awesome, even though, that's just more animals in Thailand that if you're out and about in the boonies can absolutely tear you up. Don't even get me started on the snakes, but to see this and to know that they are making an active effort to make sure these animals still have their space, I think that's really cool. Quite a few national parks in Thailand, you may or may not know that. I've been to a couple myself. They are insane. A lot of them look like something out of Jurassic Park. So knowing that these spaces are giving these animals an opportunity to recover is absolutely awesome.
Yummy!
Now, rolling right into our next story, depending on the way that you look at things, I consider this very good news for Thailand. If you're maybe one of those guys who is a little bit older and kind of just hates everything, you might not consider this good news. But having experienced this in America, I know the type of money that it can bring in and the type of opportunities it can bring in for all different types of vendors, staff, all that types of stuff. It is a lot of money. A lot of people travel to participate in this event. So I'm really happy to see that it is becoming a steadfast thing in Thailand. Future Vibes and Insomniac confirm long-term commitment to EDC Thailand. If you don't know, EDC stands for the Electric Daisy Carnival. It is one of, production-wise, it is the biggest festival in the world. Now, I'm not sure if it is still the biggest in regards to attendance, but at least the main one in Las Vegas. I've been a couple times myself. It is absolutely insane. Future Vibes Thailand, in collaboration with Insomniac, the global entertainment company behind Electric Daisy Carnival, one of the world's largest and most influential electronic music festivals, has reaffirmed a long-term commitment to Thailand. The initiative strengthens Phuket's position as a global destination for music, culture, and high-value tourism while reinforcing Thailand's role on the international festival map. Building on the overwhelming success of its debut edition in 2025, EDC Thailand is advancing under a 5-year strategic roadmap with the ambition of establishing Thailand as one of Asia's leading destinations for electronic music. The long-term initiative is projected to generate more than 12.5 billion Thai baht in economic value and attract over 460,000 international visitors during the 5 years, while increasing Phuket's tourism arrivals in January by more than 25%. Now, of course, these are just projections. We'll have to see how it actually plays out. And given that this is one of the international setups, it's not going to be as big as the main one in Las Vegas. I mean, of course, that kind of goes without saying, but judging by the amount of success that they had this year, I would imagine it's only going to grow. I think this is really awesome. If you don't know, I was a DJ for a very long time in America, so I was very involved in this whole industry. I think it's great. There's a lot of money flowing through. A lot of people travel all over the world to go to these events, so I think it's awesome that Thailand is getting this kind of set up. I think music is a great way to, bring people together and give people opportunity, whether it be people working at the events or, artists who are playing. I think this is a great thing for Thailand's DJs. Kind of the same outlook that I have with F1 possibly coming to Thailand. There's going to be a lot of people that don't like it for the logistical reasons, but at the end of the day, it brings a lot of money. It gets a lot of people paid. It gives a lot of people opportunity. So I think that is awesome. Unfortunately, it can't all be glitter and rainbows today, right? We try to keep everything on this channel like it is in real life, transparent. Good stuff happens, bad stuff happens. And especially when it comes to this next story, as well as our last one, I think there's some very important lessons to be learned here. And, especially when it comes to this next story, this hits pretty close to home for me because this is an industry that I was involved in for a long time. Coming to us from the Tiger, bridge collapses on truck and pickup in Samut Prakan, killing one. A pedestrian bridge collapsed onto a truck and pickup in Samut Prakan's Bangbo district this morning, December 18th, leaving one person dead and another seriously injured. Emergency services rushed to the scene after reports that a section of an overhead bridge had come crashing down onto the road, crushing vehicles beneath and halting traffic in all major lanes. At the scene, responders found the remains of the pedestrian bridge collapsed across the entire width of the road. A large trailer had been struck directly, its cab severely damaged with the driver trapped and critically injured. Rescue workers managed to free the driver who was pinned inside. Khalsad reported that a second vehicle, a pickup truck loaded with eggs, was also caught beneath the debris. The driver of the pickup was killed instantly and pronounced dead at the scene. Eyewitnesses told officials that the trailer appeared to have been driving normally until, without warning, its dump bed lifted up as it approached the bridge. Motorists behind the vehicle reportedly sounded their horns to alert the driver, but he failed to notice in time. The raised bed struck the bridge as the trailer passed underneath, causing the structure to collapse. I can't tell if it's just an actual dump truck like we have in the States, or it might be a trailer being pulled that also has that dump function. The video clip that I saw, the bed is already up, but from eyewitness accounts, they said he was driving and then the bed went up, the bed hit the bridge, and that's what caused it to fall. So I do have a CDL. I did drive trucks in America for a while. Now, granted, I never drove dump trucks, but from what I understand about how they work is it's a hydraulic system, because of course it needs to be strong enough to pick that up when it's fully loaded. Granted, I'm no engineer. I'm not really sure how that system could be accidentally activated. It's not like one of those things where if something broke, it would cause the bed to go up. The way that I understand, most hydraulic systems, if something breaks, that would cause it to lose pressure, and then that wouldn't make it go up. It has to increase the pressure to make it go up. So I don't know, maybe it was accidentally activated or something like that. It is super unfortunate that somebody was right next to the truck when that happened. It sounds like the driver that actually hit the bridge was okay, but the pickup truck next to him was killed instantly. Unfortunately, our condolences to them and that family. That is terrible situation. The one thing that I did learn a lot about is when it comes to securing loads and just road safety, what makes a truck as safe as it can be to be driving down the road. And granted, I'm not super versed when it comes to Thailand, but I'll tell you, driving down the road, I have seen some trucks and some stuff on trailers that gave me absolute anxiety. So one thing about it, I always say, like, traffic in Thailand is already crazy. If you're going to be on big roads where these trucks are driving, I highly advise just to keep your distance. Not saying that these drivers are incapable or anything like that, but it's long hours, it's a big truck, it's hard to see. So I always advise giving them as much space as you can, especially when you're on these highways and stuff. They're trying to get where they're going, they're trying to get paid, so things can get a little bit crazy. So stay safe out there. I would advise just giving these guys as much space as you possibly can. Now, in regards to our next story, I think there is a very important lesson here that a lot of us can learn from, not only when it comes to traveling in Thailand, but when it comes to meeting new people in general, but especially in certain circles of travelers, or especially in Thailand. I think this is something that is very important to understand and remember, especially if you're going to be traveling by yourself. I understand when you're out and about by yourself, you want to make friends, you want people to hang out with. I totally get that, and I think that's a great thing to do. But just like when we talk about the safety stuff in Thailand, I think it's very important to not be completely ignorant to the possibilities, or be ignorant to understanding what you're actually doing. And I think this next story really harps on that. 3 foreign motorcyclists abandon injured friend and woman after crash in Phuket. 3 foreign motorcyclists fled the scene and abandoned their injured friend after running a red light and crashing into a Thai woman's motorcycle in Phuket this morning. The crash happened after 4 foreign motorcycles allegedly ignored a red traffic light while riding through the junction. The report stated that the Thai woman was injured in the collision. One of the foreign riders was also hurt. However, the injured foreign man was left behind at the scene after his 3 companions fled, apparently to avoid legal consequences. As of the latest update, the conditions of both the Thai woman and the injured foreign man had not been released to the public. The remaining foreign motorcyclists involved in the incident were still at large. So I think there's really 2 lessons we can learn here. One, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to understand what's happening when you're on the road riding a motorcycle. I know a lot of people, whether it be vacation, expats, whatever, you get here, everybody's riding bikes, looking fun, and you want to go do it yourself. Maybe you don't have a lot of experience. Everybody that I know, I've been riding motorcycles my whole life. Everybody that I know that has gotten injured or who's gotten into an accident on the road, including myself, probably 95% of those were caused by other people on the road. But this just goes to show there's always somebody who feels like driving like an idiot, especially in these quote unquote party towns like Pattaya and Phuket. But the other lesson here I think is very important to learn is when you're coming here and you meet people. I have met tons of awesome people in Thailand. Don't get me wrong. I've also met some people who are complete dirtbags. It's just like anywhere else in the world. We used to say it in Vegas all the time, and I think it really, holds true to especially Pattaya and Phuket as well. And the way we used to say it is not everybody who comes to Vegas is a dirtbag, but everybody who is a dirtbag wants to go to Vegas. I think a lot of that is true when it comes to tourists in Thailand. Essentially, you just got to be careful with who you're hanging out with. Now, if we're just talking, go out to the bar, have some drinks, go home, you know what I mean? Just like surface level friends, no big deal. But if you're going to be spending real time with people, or you're going to be in situations where you're possibly vulnerable, it's very important to understand that not everybody you meet in Thailand is going to be your friend. I've made this mistake myself. It can be easy to kind of think like, oh, I'm in Thailand for these reasons. This is I wanted to come here and experience a new culture, or I wanted to come here and try new food or see what it was like living overseas. It could be easy to think that everybody else you meet that has come here is kind of on the same wave as you. That is absolutely not true. There are some people who come to Thailand to just rip around on bikes and chase chicks and drink as many beers as they can and kind of just be degenerates. I don't judge, but when it's coming to the point where, hey, I'm gonna spend time with these people might be included in my life, I might be around these people at a time when I need help, like a situation like this where you're laying all busted up in the middle of the street and they take off out of fear of getting a ticket. Those people are not your friends. Just want to remind you guys of that. I think that is very important to understand is, vet everybody in Thailand just like you would with people that you're meeting in your home country. If you think it's possible that these people might, hanging out to dry or leave you when you need help or blame you for something that they did, just don't even waste your time. Just remember when you come to Thailand, you can absolutely meet people that are, on the same wave as you and are looking for the same experiences, but you're going to meet plenty of other people who aren't. Whatever type of friend you are to your true friends, hold everybody else to that same standard. If you would do things for this person that you don't think they would do for you, just cut them loose. That's my advice. I'm not your dad. Live your life. But I've made quite a few mistakes. So ideally, you don't have to make the same ones. So I do hope, in regards to half our stories today, a little change of pace, some positivity on the horizon, some good things happening. Like we mentioned earlier, if there's, any cool stories, any crazy stories, any nice stories that you feel like we should definitely get out there, help some more people to see, please feel free to drop them down in the comments below. So we are T-minus 1 week until moving to Bangkok. This next week or so is going to be a bit hectic for me. I will be sure to keep you guys updated on what's going on. And once we get to Bangkok, it is full tilt, baby. I've got a whole docket for the first 2 or 3 months of a bunch of cool stuff we're gonna do, cool videos we're gonna make. So if that's something you would like to see, feel free to drop that subscribe below. I hope you have a great day. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for being here. See you guys in the next one.